I want to welcome you to Dream Chasers Radio with me, your host, Yaya Diamond. What's up, people? How you doing today? Okay, so like you guys know, I love music, I love everything, but I admire authors because they have to sit with a pen and a piece of paper or a typewriter or a computer, and they got to come out of their imagination. That to me, that's big. I mean, they got to create characters and everything. We have, of course, an author on the show next. Please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. Okay, so we have Michael Angelo Williams on the show today, and he's going to be talking about a bunch of different things. But of course, the main thing is a writer and why. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, so Mr. Michael Angelo, I like to say that. That's kind of like got a ring to it. I don't even know why. But anyway, so why did you become a writer?
For a lot of reasons. You know what I mean? For one is to teach the truth through fiction, because it's a fictional book, E&J Part 1. It's a fictional book, but I'm bringing a lot of raw truth through the book. You know what I mean? I want to educate the young adults, the teens, the families, the lost souls that's in despair. You know what I mean? We have a lot of lost souls out here that's walking around that don't know what's going on, don't know what tomorrow brings, don't even know who they are. You know what I mean? So writing puts me sitting down, me putting things together, characters together to portray certain roles that I know people will enjoy. And once they enjoy it, then they will find out the message that the character is bringing forth that applies to their life today. And it gives them choices that they will have to make. You can't run away from your choices. So it will give them choices that they will have to make so they can be a better person into society. So that's, mainly one of the reasons, or a group of reasons that, I like writing. And I like bringing truth to people.
Mm-hmm.
I like trying to, change people's lives for the better. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Especially like the generation that's coming up behind us. They're very, a lot of them is on the wrong path. And you see it each and every day. So by me being, an older gentleman, older man that have experience and was fortunate, to move around the country and deal with different people, communities and so forth, I had no choice. I had to do it. Somebody got to do it. You know what I mean? So, I had to step up to the plate and, ask God for guidance and intellectual, spiritual information. And I put it all together. You know what I mean? And it's serve it to the community. So that's what I'm about.
Wow, that is so cool. I mean, to give back to your community, but also to give back in the form of a book, in the form of writing and encouragement. I mean, when did you first get this idea?
Well, I can say when I was maybe in Catholic school. Going back, I'm originally from New York. So I went to Catholic school in New York, St. Peter Claver's. So we did like a lot of writing, studying the scriptures, plays. That's one thing that they put before us to do was you got to do your plays. So you got to study your lines, you know what I mean? And we put plays together that meant something. So I was pretty much, in that position where I had to put my writing skill to the test. And it's been like that basically my whole life. So I could say basically going back to, 5th grade, 4th grade, I started doing this back in the 70s.
Wow. To me, this is amazing because, you have more than one book. How many books do you have?
Well, this is my first. Mm-hmm. This is my first book right here. But okay. I wrote a lot of, eulogies for people, for families.
There you go. Okay, I got you.
I mean, that experienced death. So I was put in that position where I had to do that. And bring some light to the families, letting them know that, the person that was their family member that they lost, it was reasons behind it. And that, you have to learn from the reasons. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. A lot of people, they don't understand that. So I was bringing those things forth also. And also wrote some music too. I had a CD.
That's right.
That I did back in like 2001.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The name of it was Real Heat. It was pertaining to a lot of tracks up there where you was talking about the tracks earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Conscious tracks, you know what I mean? Getting at my people, letting them know where they're going off at.
Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So EJ, tell me about that book. Tell me what that is about.
It's a masterpiece. You know what I mean? I'm gonna put it like that for one. It's about twin brothers, one white, the other black. Their parents are, you know, from the same race, African American. And it brings about, you know, they was young growing up, how they had love for each other, but they chose different paths. You know, one chose to do things that, you know, that was on the left-hand side, you know, doing criminal things, and the other one was trying to do righteous things, you know, trying to be that pillar for the society, for his generations, show good examples. And it's basically just letting the young adults know that you have choices that you have to make. And if you make the wrong choices, there's consequences for it. Consequences, you know what I mean? And it's also talking about a lot of people that's running around today that we see on the news that's like molesting young children, sex trafficking, you know, drugs, doing drugs, you know, extorting people, killing, murdering people, you know, but it has the flip side too. And it's letting you know you don't have to do that. You know what I mean? You can be that positive young man or young woman in your society. So it's giving the reader a choice. Whatever choice you take, then that's who you are.
Wow. That's like, you know, I remember the red pill and the blue pill, but I also remember back in the 70s, the cartoons where they had the angel and the devil on your shoulders.
Exactly.
You know, you can choose which one you want. Wow. Wow, that to me, that's revolutionary, because a lot of people don't give both sides. When you decided to give both sides, was that something you had initially planned, or was that something that was developed throughout the writing process?
Well, I knew that from the start, that that's what I was going to do. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people look at the skin color thing, and it's not about the skin color thing.
I agree.
It's a spiritual thing.
You
know what I mean? So when I put it together like that, you know, it comes from the scriptures. In Genesis 25th chapter, when they're talking about twin brothers, Esau and Jacob. So, you know, I got the idea from the scriptures. The scriptures has a lot of stories that I think a lot of our people, you know, not just black people, white people also, need to really dig into and get the full understanding on it, and don't ignore it. You know what I mean? And it could be sort of like a prelude to the scriptures. So, and, you know, you read my book, I have things in there that's pertaining to the scriptures that maybe some people didn't know about. So now they'll want to go and investigate to the book, to the Bible. And that can get them to start reading it and start trying to live by it to the best of their ability.
What's the whole purpose of this book? What is the whole reason behind, the ultimate reason behind this book?
To change lives for the betterment, the younger generation, and let them know that there's a time frame on everything. You know what I mean? And we're living in a different time frame, that they need to get their act together. You know, I'm in my 50s. So when I was in my 20s, you know, a lot of us said to ourselves, you know, I can maybe mess up for 10 years or 15 years, and I can get back on track when I'm 30, 35 and get a family and go back to school or whatever. But now, if you're 20 years old, you can't think like that.
No.
You know what I mean? The time don't shorten down. So you got to look at it like, okay, I'm 20, then by 22, I got to have my life together. I got to know positive things. I have to be doing something that's positive for society. I can't be taken from society. Let me give to society. You know what I mean? And that will protect you out here in these streets. That will protect you out here in these streets. And a lot of parents they're not telling their people, they're not telling their children these things. They're making their children believe that, oh, you're gonna live to be 60 years old, just like how mommy did or daddy did. But a lot of times it's not working, and he's showing us every day on the news. He's showing us. You know, so E&J is basically, it's like a wake-up call. You know what I mean? Get your act together, stop playing games, treat each other with respect, and always remember, it's a spiritual thing. That spirit that beats, that burns inside of you, it does it for a reason. It's for a reason.
Yeah, definitely. I always tell children, when they're 10 years old, I said, wow, you're 10 years old. You're almost like you're halfway to 20.
Exactly.
And then they go, and they kind of like, they didn't think that these first 10 years went so fast. Exactly. What do you think is going to happen with the second 10 years?
Exactly. So that's why, I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. And so I tell my daughter, I said, you're 20. You're halfway to 40. And she's like, don't say that. I said, it's true. I said, the first 20 years of your life, how fast did that go? It's going to go even faster.
That's right.
You got to get it together.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. You were going to say something?
No, I was just saying that when you was mentioning the 10-year-old, that it's important for them to learn good things at that age.
Yes.
Spiritual things, once again, spiritual things. You know what I mean? And for one, God, because he wakes them up each and every day. So get to know him. Mm-hmm. That's important. You don't want to wait till you like 50 years old. You trying to say your prayers. Or you trying to nah, it's too late now for
God. Yeah, I don't know if it's too late. It's just, it's hard.
Yeah, it's harder.
It's hard. It really is hard. It's really hard.
You don't develop, ways and habits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just harder. Yeah. Wow. So, you have your book. Are you going to do a sequel to your book?
Yeah, this is part 1.
Okay. That's why I thought you already had part 2 and 3, because I was like assuming, but okay, we got it. So can I ask you what part 2 might be like?
It's going to get deeper. Part 1 is deep. You know what I mean? So the readers that went out and supported me and bought it, they loving it. They begging for part 2 now, because I have a lot of strong characters in there. I believe I wrote over maybe 50 to 60 characters.
Wow.
And each character has like their own personality from different nationalities. I have, Latin people in there. I have Jamaican people in there. I have East Indian, white, black, Native American, different languages and so forth. So I have artwork in there also. Wow. I have a lot of strong characters in there. So you gotta just pick the one you like.
Wow. To me, it's an amazing thing, an amazing adventure. When you started your characters and then you started getting into that, was that something that became almost real for you?
Yes, because I was fortunate to live around a lot of people that was from different nationalities. And I was able to see them do certain things, certain ways, and speak certain dialect and so forth. And it was natural. It was natural. It wasn't hard at all.
That's great. That's great. And part 1 is already out.
Yeah, it's already out. It's already out. You can go on my website, michaelangelowilliams.com, and you pull it up. You can buy an ebook or either soft copy. And I have the book trailers up there. That's going, 1, 2 book trailers. Right. It's like a little movie. You know what I mean? So you can get an idea what the book is about. And I guarantee you're gonna love it. You know what I mean? But the thing about it is, it's gonna take you deep. It's gonna let people know. It's gonna let you know. But you look at yourself in the mirror and be like, okay, I'm like this, or I'm like that. I might need to change a little something here or there. I might need to watch out who I'm hanging around with and so forth.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's gonna put you to the test. It's gonna put you to the test.
Wow.
And that's important.
It's very important to wake up. It's very important to understand, when people say, oh, you have to go find yourself. I kind of agree with that in a way, but I think you have to find who you are in the midst of what your purpose was supposed to be. I think we're off purpose sometimes, and that's what makes us depressed, and that's what makes our lives go in the wrong direction, because we're off course. And of course, the Heavenly Father wants us all to be on course and wants us to be, a productive light to the world.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Because he's given us, I know you pretty much heard the old saying that everybody has a talent, right?
Right. Yeah. That your room, that your life makes room for talent, your talent.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody has a talent. You know what I mean? So it's like you have to look at yourself and discover who you are. Instead of
Mhm.
looking at TV all the time and say, oh, he can
Yeah.
do that, I can do it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
I
And that's
I
how a
don't
lot of people
really.
get lost. They get lost doing that.
Yeah, they do. I don't really have time for TV. I mean, I think if you're in your element, if TV is your job, you're supposed to be doing TV, you're supposed to be, then by all means, study
Mhm.
it, use it, learn from it, develop your talent from because you're supposed to be in TV, whatever. Okay. But if you're not, really, I believe that people should really focus and learn towards the goal that they're supposed to be doing for their life. And that
Right.
doesn't 99% of the time, it doesn't include any TV at all.
That's true.
It may include instructional videos,
Right.
but that's as far as the TV as I want to go sometimes. And most of the time, the TV's on and I'm asleep.
No doubt. No doubt. I'm the
Yeah.
same way. If I'm watching
Mm,
TV, I may watch an old Western or something like that. You know what I mean? But
mm,
as far as sitting in front of the TV every day, all day, I
no.
can't do that. I can't
Yeah.
do that. You know what I'm
I
saying?
hear
I
you.
think a lot of people have to understand that being charitable, you can find out who you are.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You can find out your talent. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of maybe looking at another person probably trying to copy their role. Nah, this
Yeah.
just try to be charitable. And once you become that, then you will find out where you may be good at something.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it could be as simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
I
saying? I
I
think that's
agree.
one thing. That's one thing we don't have. We don't have enough charitable people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, get from behind the TV, behind the game console, and get out there and explore your
Right.
world. Explore your world. Yeah, that's
Right.
that's something that was instilled in me as well. Don't be sitting, and I mean, there wasn't much TV back when I was growing up anyway, and the TV was off on the weekdays. There was no TV Monday through Friday.
I feel you.
Yeah, because you had homework.
That's right.
You had no TV.
That's right.
Nobody watched TV. Everybody was doing something productive,
That's right.
reading their Bible, writing their whatever they're supposed to be doing for school, cleaning the room. There was no TV during the week. The weekends was a privilege to watch a show. And then TV went off. Like TV went off. Like the Pledge of Allegiance came on and those bars came down
That
and the
was it.
TV
Yeah,
was gone.
it was all. It was
At
all.
midnight, it was off.
So,
Everybody was
yeah.
asleep.
So you was
So
focusing on yourself.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what a lot of the younger generation. And I think it takes away their attention span too.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it really did. Having 24/7 TV to watch has been a crutch. It's a crutch.
And that goes back
Definitely.
to my book. That I understand there's a lot of people that don't read, a lot of Black people that don't read.
Mm-hmm.
And my book is like an attention grabber.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to, come up with this book as far as I know it will be an attention grabber because the twins.
Mm-hmm.
And believe it or not, a lot of people that hasn't read in the past is reading now.
Mm. Wow. Well, where
Just like
can they
that.
find it? Where can they find your book? Where can they find this? Because I don't want you to give too much away, but at the same time, I want people to know that this is going to be a very, very vital read.
They can go to Amazon. They can go through my website.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? MichaelAngeloWilliams.com, pull it up. You can buy it through my website, Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
or you can go to Barnes and Noble and purchase it on ebook also. So the choice is yours. It's yours. I dropped it in December, right before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been out maybe like 7 weeks now.
Yeah, around 7 to 8 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
brand
Wow.
new. It's brand new on the scene.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Brand new on the scene.
What kind of advice do you give to those people coming up that maybe want to write a book or find themselves?
Do something pertaining to what's going to make God happy. Because he's the greatest author of them all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I believe in him 100%. So I'm speaking for myself. You know what I'm saying? He's the greatest author. He's the greatest producer of them all. He have a lot of stories. You know what I mean? And my advice, if you want to write something that's going to bring a smile on his face. I mean, you're going to have negative and positive, but make sure you got that positive going against that negative. Just don't write all negative. And I think a lot of people, they get caught up in that. They just want to put negative, negative, negative. It's like some of the songs that we listen to. The whole song is negative.
No negative. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to put some positive in there to fight that negative. That way you're able to get the souls that's meant to change, that want change. So they'll see, okay, he's not afraid or she's not afraid to go against these people that's doing this or saying that. You know what I'm saying? They got just as much courage. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's important. That's my message to some of the writers that's coming up. Just don't write all negative. Throw that positive up in there. Throw it up in there. And that's going to make you even more a better writer. Because you'll be able to write outside of the box. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. Well, Michael Angelo, thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate it so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Don't forget to go to michaelangelowilliams.com and check it out for yourself.
That's at E&J Part 1.
Part 1. E&J Part 1. There you go. All right, guys. Until next time, don't forget to dare to be different. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And go, Michael Angelo Williams. You're not going to forget that name. Michael Angelo Williams. Come on. Come on. All right, guys. Until next time. Bye. I dare to be different. I dare.